So Eddie, thanks for joining us on the eve of another new season. What are your thoughts ahead of the new campaign?
Very excited to get going. I think we're ready. We've played quite a number of warm-up games, and you always organise these games thinking you're going to get some rain-out games, and we didn't. So we're very ready to play.
And just the big loss of James Vince going white ball only, how does that affect your plans with the county championship this year?
Well, it's a big loss. There's 1,000 runs sort of penciled in every year, and the leadership as well. So it's a massive loss. But we've got to, we've recruited well. I think during the off season, we also changed our structure of our team so that we can bat deeper and bring in an all-rounder where we had two out-and-out quicks. We've now gone for an all-rounder and Kyle Abbott, and so we've tried to make up for his absence in changing the structure to the team. But we've also got some youngsters that have played a number of matches over the past few years, so they're not making their debuts, and so we'll be expecting more from Prest, Albert, Middleton, or Weatherly, who's been, those are other batters that'll be used over the season. So none of them have played, one or two matches. They've all played 20 matches or more. So they're not in their infancy in playing this standard of cricket. So we're hoping that they can improve on past performances.
You've lost Mohammed Abbas, who's gone to Nottingham, but you've got Sonny Baker, you've got John Turner. How do you find the balance between playing them, because they are exciting players, but also protecting them a bit because they've not experienced enough at first-class cricket just yet?
Well, we got 9 fast bowlers, so for the first time we'll be able to rotate more than we've done in the past. But without Mohammed Abbas, it does give us an opportunity to play one of them. We've got an all-rounder in Brett Hampton, who will probably bat at about 8 in bowl. But it'll be exciting to see what those youngsters can do, and they're rearing to go, and hopefully they'll use their opportunities well. But I think we will rotate more than we've done.
Just talk to me about Brett. What have you seen him in that makes you think he can be successful here at the start of the season?
Well, I think he comes with very good references from New Zealand, and he's been a high performer in the last 2 years. He's not a young player. He knows his game, and so we've gone for him because I think for his experience. But we also think that he can do a job for us with the ball and the bat, and that's why we've gone for him.
Just on James's departure and going white ball only, do you think you can see more players follow down that route now? Because you see there's so many franchise leagues in the world, and players have a short career. So can you see that following?
I do. I see that happening more and more.
Is that challenging for you as a coach? Sorry.
Yeah.
To see more and more.
No, I think it will be challenging as we go on. But these franchises, the new world, and the cricket world is changing very, very quickly. Most of the teams are owned now with foreign owners, and I can see that there'll be franchises that will recruit players to play in their, for their teams in leagues around the world, and I can see that happening with players and coaches.
And it's an exciting time here at Hampshire with the new ownership, as you mentioned. So just a couple of thoughts on them.
Oh, absolutely. It is exciting. It is different. But I think there will be opportunities down the line where maybe some Hampshire players can play for their franchises. Seattle Orcas are owned by them, and also Dubai Capitals are owned by them. So there might be opportunities in those two franchises for some Hampshire players, and equally so we might get one or two players from the IPL team here at Hampshire, and I think that will happen over time.
I was down at Sussex last week speaking to Paul Farbrace, and he said now's probably the best time with the investment coming in from the 100 to have a look at the schedule and maybe play less games, not too less, but less games as a whole. How do you feel about the current structure for an all-format player?
Yeah, I think it's quite challenging. It's a lot of cricket. If you play all formats and you're selected, you get selected every game. A guy like Dawson, he plays, playing every game. It's a very long season. So I think, it doesn't get, all this new investment does give ECB the opportunity to look at the structure and come up with the best possible structure. It's not only now about money and finances. There is that, that base has been covered to a large extent, and they can look at cricket.
And just looking ahead to the Blast season, you've announced two signings, two players well in Dewald, Brewis and Lhuan-Dre. Pretorius, tell us what they can bring to the side.
Well, they're both young and they're both dynamic, and I think they're the future of South African cricket, and I think they'll be playing internationally in the next 10, 15 years maybe. They both bring different skills. Obviously one's left-handed, one's right, but they both do something else as well. When you look at these players coming in, it's always nice to get someone that can do two skills.
Yeah. And
so Lhuan-Dre, he's a keeper, and he'll keep for us. And that's a second skill for him, but he's got tremendous hands. He scores very quickly, and for a young guy, he's got a good balanced head on his shoulders, and thinks clearly. Very exciting to have him and Vince open the batting. Yeah. Left and right hander, and I think he does well with a experienced player on the other side. He did very well playing with Root in the SA20, and I think Vince will do a similar sort of mentorship role and guidance role for him when he plays for us in the Blast. Dewald Brewis is a exceptionally good player. He's not his first season at all, and I just had a look this morning at his stats over the past year, which is phenomenal. His strike rate is incredible. He's got power. He plays very well against spin. He'll play in our middle order and finish games, but he also bowls leg spin, and he's an exceptionally good fielder. So, both of them bring other skills to the fore. Both are texting me quite a lot about how excited they are, and we're lucky to get them because it does give us an option of retaining them, their services in years to come.
Does it help that you already have that relationship? Because for someone like Lhuan-Dre, 19 years old, coming to play overseas, it can be quite daunting, but the fact that he already has that relationship with you, does that help?
Yeah, he hasn't played for me. No. None of them have played for me yet, but I know them from South Africa, and playing in the SA20, they were in the opposition team. It was quite awkward, you're signing them and they're in the opposition team for you, playing against your team. But I think so. I think also the two of them will live together, and they're good mates, and it does give them that sort of opportunity of playing alongside someone that they know well. But I think they'll fit in really well, and they're very, very excited.
Just finally on yourself, because you mentioned being in the SA20 managing Sunrises, how are you finding managing Hampshire during the winter and then during the summer, and then going off and managing a franchise? How are you finding juggling a couple of plates in that regard?
I do. I'm a farmer as well. I go and spend a few months on my farm, and I love the break. It's totally completely different lives, and I think I need that to get a break from cricket. But then I do the SA20, the Sunrises, and it's a exceptionally good competition, and I'm lucky to be involved because it's very well supported. But it does. I think it sharpens you as a coach, where you're working with different players. You're looking at trying to win a trophy in different conditions, and so your mind is on the go all the time. So there's not much rest. So I think that's why I enjoy my farming so much, because it's totally different.